Okay, it's Friday. We are just going to make ourselves go to town. And the options are my wife go to the big city by herself and I stay home and hold Sonny. Or we both go and I sit in the truck and hold Sonny while she goes and takes care of business. So that's what we're going to do. So here's another day where I don't make knives. But I did get this in yesterday. Here's the thing. I ordered 2 pieces of 12 by 12. This is the new pink Kydex. I wasn't really happy with the Kydex that I ordered. So I ordered 2 pieces of 12 by 12. And you know what they did? They sent me 12 by 24, which is not terrible, but you know, I didn't want to have to cut it. So I just did because I couldn't get it in my drawer where I keep my Kydex. It's not a big deal, but you know, I ordered 2 12 by 12 pieces, not a 12 by 24 piece. And they just took it upon themselves to send me what they wanted me to have. So, one second. This is where I keep my full-size Kydex. Right here. And these are the colors that I have. This is where I keep some that I've already cut up, and this is the other pink, and I'm just not happy with that. I don't like that at all. Alrighty. We are off to town. Okay, today is rat killing day, and we don't have insurance, so we have to pay for ours. And so I thought I would take this opportunity. Hold on one second. There you are. So I thought I would take, oh, come here, baby, don't fall. Oh, God. She's so old, she can hardly stand on her own. I just feel so bad for this thing. For this baby. She's my baby. This is not big news. This is just something I've been thinking about. From now on, I'm gonna start making my knives, my larger knives, from the dinner skinner on up. The knitting skinner, the sharp finger, the BC Special, Nessmuk, Texas Rumble, all those. All of them, they're gonna be made from my thicker metal, the 3/16. They just look better, number one. Number two, they warp less often, far less frequently do they warp. And the thinner steel, I'm just gonna make my neck knives out of. So, and the second thing, I'm gonna start using 3/16 rod on my sharp fingers. I may transition completely to 3/16. 3/16 is not too big for the neck knives if I only use 2. Well, actually it is, because we're at the narrowest part of the handle. If I drill a 3/16 hole through there, it doesn't leave a whole lot of meat left. So I'll probably continue using 1/8" pins on the neck knives. But the dinner skinners on up, I'm going to use 3/16. And I may use 3/16 on all my knives because it just looks nicer. And God, so we're getting glasses, by the way. Charlie's in there getting her. She's in the waiting room right now. She's gonna get a new pair of glasses. And God, we're near something that smells so good. Making my stomach rumble. There's a Chipotle over there. Maybe that's it. There's a Whataburger here and a Chipotle right there. In between the two. This is not a place for a fat guy to park. Anyway, that's what I thought I'd tell you. I'm going to start making I have 4 sharp fingers cut out of the thinner steel, and I'm going to go ahead and make them. And after that, all my larger knives from the dinner skinner on up are going to be the thicker steel, unless someone requests the thinner steel. And all my neck knives will be made from the 1/8". So, probably going to have to order me some 3/16 pretty quick. Okay, I can't think of anything else. Is that a sweet baby? Is that a sweet baby? Is that a sweet baby?
Well, that was $250 I did not want to spend. Look at my Kroger and see if they've got them sodas on sale. And then I'll go in. Do you need to come outside? Oh, I bet you need to pee. I bet you do. I am going to Kroger to get chicken breast, unless they're cheap. We may have to go let her out, Brad.
Okay. Well, here's proof that we're not crazy. Charlie was in there talking to an old guy. Her glasses are ready. We're here to pick them up. And they were talking about the crime, which is just unimaginable, unspeakable levels of crime. And the old man said that he doesn't go anywhere. He has a lifetime, and once you pass 65, you can get a lifetime concealed carry permit. He said his wife carries a pistol, he carries a pistol. And Charlie said, the conversation came up. She said, my husband is in the car. He's got a gun on his hip, a gun in the dashboard, and a 12-gauge shotgun underneath the back seat. She said, and I'm armed. I got a gun on my hip. So we're not crazy. People are realizing that you either choose not to be a victim or you're going to be a victim, because that's how bad the crime is here. Okay, just a quick video. I had a memory that's kind of funny. And what sparked this memory was a friend of mine put a picture up. He's a truck driver. He put a picture up of a company truck driver appreciation day. And there wasn't a truck driver in the picture. It was all office people, because all the truck drivers were out working. And, you think that's funny or a set up picture, but it's not. Here's a funny one. I won Driver of the Year one time for this company. And they were having a big celebration in honor of me, right? To present me with this Driver of the Year plaque. And they didn't invite me. They sent me on a load. I couldn't believe it. Oh, boy. That was pretty funny. And I'll tell you, I think back at that company, and from the owners to the bottom person that mopped the floor, it was truly, I never worked for a company with more stupid people in it ever. I don't know how they survived all those years and still in business. Every time I see a John and John truck go by, it blows my mind that they are still in business. And another one was, we had worked for them for years. And then I get a phone call. We're off, right? It was our time off. And we got a phone call. And they're saying, well, why didn't you go do your load? And I was saying, we don't have a load. You didn't dispatch us on a load. So they didn't believe me. That they were convinced by a dispatcher that he had dispatched us on a load. And we just decided that after all these years of coming to work every day and doing exactly what they asked of us, that we just woke up and decided we weren't going to come to work that day. And this is a new dispatcher. And I don't know if you know about South Louisiana, but there's a saying about South Louisiana that if you don't live there and you don't understand this, you may find offense. But the word for some people in South Louisiana is coon-ass. And the saying is, a coon-ass would rather climb a phone pole than tell the truth. And it's nothing racial. It's just a particular area of Louisiana, and they call them coon-asses, okay? And it's got nothing to do with race whatsoever. So, yeah, this guy forgot to dispatch a load and then claimed he dispatched us on the load. And after several years of working for these people, we just up and decided we were not going to come to work that day. And what shocked me and made me laugh is that they believed this dispatcher because dispatchers were placed in such high regard over the scum of the earth, which is truck drivers. Yeah. Anyway, what else did they do? Orientation. I should have known at orientation for that company. Their orientation was this girl that read at a first or second grade level, reading to me out of the company handbook. Anybody with average, maybe an 8th grade education could have read this company handbook in an hour. And it took her 2 solid days to read me this company handbook. I even said, look, as politely as I could figure out how. I said, look, why don't you just let me read that company handbook and save you a bunch of effort, you know? You can just go. I'm sure you got more important things to do. But no, she sat there for another whole day and read me the company handbook like this. Yeah, that should have been a real warning. John and John Tank Lines out of Crowley, Louisiana. The only thing that they did that was good for me was they let me teach Charlie how to drive on the job. And that was before CDLs. And all she had to do was get a learner's permit and 30 days behind the wheel, and we got her regular truck driving license. And if it wasn't for them, she would have had to have gone to a truck driving school. Okay, I just thought that was funny that they had a celebration for me and didn't invite me.
Well, they didn't invite me either.
Yeah.
I didn't get driver of the year, and I drove with you every time that truck run.
Yeah, we were a husband and wife team, and we did the exact same loads. When, you know, I mean, we didn't drive 2 trucks. We drove 1 truck. So I asked them, I said, how can you pick one person of a team and make them driver of the year? And she said, well, maybe your wife was late. As if me being in the truck, I wouldn't be. This is the kind of mentality we were dealing with. I mean, it was comical when you called them. If you could have recorded some of these conversations, it would have been comical for most people. Yeah, their explanation why she didn't win driver of the year, or they didn't make us team of the year, which would have been more fair for everybody, was because maybe she was late. Which anybody else would think, they're a team, they're in the same truck. How could one person be late and the other not? Okay, that's all. I just thought it was funny. And since I'm reminiscing, let me tell you about the very first time I ever took a Greyhound bus. It was my very first long-haul trucking job. And I had to take a Greyhound bus from Shreveport, Louisiana to Fort Scott, Kansas. And as the crow flies, it's probably 500 miles. You know what? I'm going to stop this and I'm going to actually look because I don't even have a guess. Yeah, I was right. It's 460 miles. I paid extra for the express bus. It took 3 days to go 460 miles. 3 days on Greyhound. And some of these bus stops would be closed up gas stations, and you would have to sit there for 6, 7, 8 hours for the next bus to come and pick you up. That was my very first experience with Greyhound bus. And my second experience was when I was going to John and John Tank Lines in Crowley, Louisiana, from Shreveport for orientation. They paid for the bus, Greyhound, to Crowley. It was a straight ticket from Shreveport to Crowley, Louisiana. Well, we get to Lake Charles, and they stop the bus. And that's it. They won't go no further. So I go into the Greyhound bus office, and I show him my ticket, and I say, I'm supposed to go to Crowley. And he says, well, you don't have enough passengers to go to Crowley. And I said, so will there be a bus to Crowley? You just going to leave me stranded here at a Lake Charles bus station? Do you put me up at a motel? How's this work? He goes, no, we don't put you up at a motel. I said, so what do you expect me to sit here in the station for whenever you do have enough passengers going from Lake Charles to Crowley? And he goes, no, we close at 9, and it was almost 9. So I don't know where you're going to go, but you can't stay here. So Greyhound stranded me in the middle of nowhere with a bus ticket to go to Crowley that had been paid in full, paid for, and they left me, 2/3 of the way there. So I've got no vehicle, and back then it was not long after my first divorce, so I had no kind of credit, no credit card. I couldn't rent a car, nothing. So I called the company that was hiring me, and I told them that, they won't bring me to Crowley. They've stranded me here in Lake Charles, and I don't have enough money for a motel. What am I going to do? So they reluctantly sent somebody to get me, and they put me up in their motel that they put their new hires in Crowley. So they're supposed to pick me up at 8 a.m. the next morning, right? I get up and I get that continental breakfast, and I'm sitting outside. I've checked out of my motel. I got my bags. 8 o'clock comes around, nobody. 8:15, nobody. 8:30, I call them and I ask them if they're going to pick me up. How do I get to the office? And they said, oh, well, nobody picked you up. Well, am I there? No, you're at the office. I'm not in the office. So obviously nobody picked me up. 9 o'clock rolls around. 10 o'clock rolls around. I have freaking lunch there. Late in the afternoon, they come get me. And I'm thinking, what a screw up. Boy, what a mistake. Well, now I'm stranded there. I'm stuck there. So, I'm having second thoughts about going to work for this company. I mean, what a crazy company. So the next day, right? The next day, same thing. They're going to pick me up at 8, and this time they really mean it. 9 o'clock rolls around. 10 o'clock rolls around. 11 o'clock, just before lunch, they come and get me. When I think back about John and John and think about how on earth they were able to stay in business, it just blows my mind. I know I say that, and every time I see a John and John truck go down the road, I shake my head. I've never in my life seen a company that was operated by complete imbeciles. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. I'm still reminiscing about all the odd things that have happened in my life, and John and John was
that was the worst job I ever had.
Yeah, worst. Charlie says the worst job she ever had, and me, the equipment was below average as far as quality. The dispatchers were, like I say, dumber than a box of rocks. And then lie. They would lie. This was back before cell phones. So you had to get directions to people, to, consignees to where you were delivering. You had to get directions. And the dispatchers were supposed to get these directions for you. And, man, they couldn't even take simple directions. It'd be 3 a.m. and they would tell you to turn left at the brown house. Well, at night, with no lights, every house out there is brown or black, I mean, stupid people. Stupid people. And the thing that blows my mind was I moved out to Odessa, Texas for this company on my own dime. I'm out there, I'm shaking hands, I'm, I'm trying to get a terminal started for them. I'm hiring drivers. Plus, I'm pulling a load from Odessa, Texas to Baytown, Texas, and coming back. Well, I'm going and I'm starting accounts with tire companies and starting accounts with mechanics and stuff like that. I'm getting ready for them to move out here and start off big time for this new contract they got at a place called Rexine in Odessa, Texas. And Charlie came out with me. That was before she became a truck driver. So where we stayed was it was a hovel. It was really a bad place. I mean, not dangerous, just crappy little apartments. So she was stuck there all day long by herself. Well, anyway, one of the ladies that was part of the family of that company that owned John and John, she calls me one day. Now, keep in mind, I've moved out here and I'm doing all this on my own dime. And I'm bobtailing in the truck from the Rexine, the company I had to load at, back to my house because I only have one vehicle and I got to leave it for Charlie. I mean, it's bad enough she's stuck there by herself with me gone, on a run. I don't want to leave her without a vehicle. So I get a call from this woman, and her name is Catherine, and she emphasizes the John. Hello, this is Catherine John Hunley, to let me know that she's really important and one of the owners of the company. I said, yes. She goes, there's a discrepancy on your mileage report on your vehicle. And I said, okay, what kind of discrepancy? That was like 11 or 12 miles that were unaccounted for. I said, well, I live 6 miles from my home where I park the truck to where I load. So, if I go to work and then come back, that's would account for the, 11.6 miles. And she accused me of joyriding. I mean, those were her words, joyriding. And grocery shopping and joyriding in their truck for 12 miles. The explanation I just gave her didn't satisfy her. And I almost quit. I almost quit that day. I was so freaking mad. And it took one of the Johns calling me to get me to not quit. It was not long after that we moved back to, where did we move after that, huh? Shreveport or Bossier?
Yeah, Bossier.
So we came back to Bossier. And wasn't long after that, I talked them into letting me teach her how to drive. And then how long after that? 2 years? 2 years after that, we bought our own truck, and then the rest was history. And that was John and John. The worst humans on the entire planet to work for. Oh, and Greyhound sucks. Man, if you could hear this, it just sounds like a helicopter going over.
I can actually hear them in the house. I know a wave has come to eat because I can hear them. The buzzing. Sounds like a cat purring. Kind of reminds me of my childhood. I had a cat that slept on my back every night. And she buzzed all night.
Say Sonny's moving around is why they keep.
I actually need to go get sugar because I'm down to one. What are those?
So, how much? Yeah, that 2-pound bag. So how many times did you refill all these yesterday?
This,
So
if you count,
moving around
if you
again.
count to what I just filled up, in 24 hours I filled them up 4 times.
Unbelievable. That's probably, what, about a half a gallon, do you think, between just them 4? We have another one over here.
Yeah, I don't know why they quit feeding on
Only a
that
couple
one.
of them will come feed on this for some reason.
And they were emptying that
Hey,
thing
you know
pretty
what? That
fast.
black thing may look like a snake. That cord there.
No, they come do it. They come eat on it. But I mean that cord's been there for 2-3 years.
Yeah, but they don't know. They're just little birds. They're not as smart as me.
Yeah, they come feed on it.
Oh, maybe they are.
They emptied it for a couple of days there, and then maybe I got soap on it or something, because I did soap it up. I'll empty it and start over.